I cannot believe what I witnessed tonight from the New York Knicks. Tonight was a night of records for the Knicks. We got Josh Hart having 9 triple-doubles, surpassing Walt Clyde Frazier. We also have Josh Hart and Karl-Anthony Towns having a triple-double. The first time a Knicks duo have a triple-double. And it was all against the Dallas Mavericks. The Knicks, in the first half, they came out and you can tell that they didn't really have the appropriate respect. And it's interesting that that kind of happened a week after the game against the San Antonio Spurs. This time around, we were actually able to pick it up in the second half because against the Spurs, we just dug ourselves a hole way too deep in order to climb back from. But tonight we got the W against the Dallas Mavericks. And what I'm going to talk about a little later in this video is kind of just the saga with the Dallas Mavericks, going back to even before the Luka Doncic trade. Let's talk about how Jalen Brunson was actually dissed by the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks didn't want to offer him that extension, and now here we are. And look at what the Dallas Mavericks have been going through the last, couple of months. But refocusing on the Knicks, the triple threat of Karl-Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, and Josh Hart definitely led the way in tonight's win against the Dallas Mavericks. Karl-Anthony Towns for the night ended with 26 points, 10 of 19 from the field, 2 of 7 from three-point line, 4 of 8 from the free throw line, grabbing 12 rebounds, 11 assists, and 1 steal in the 34 minutes that he played. It's interesting, though, because his box score, it says he ended with 26 points, and at the end of the first half, he had 24 points. So he kind of only had 1 bucket in the second half, but you kind of felt Karl-Anthony Towns' imprint all over this game with setting up other players. Now, albeit this is the Dallas Mavericks, the amount of talent that they have on that team isn't great, but you saw back cuts from OG Anunoby, who was his primary source of offense tonight, just back cutting and just having regular cuts, and Karl-Anthony Towns was able to find him on the pass. But Cat for the first half ended with 24 points, 9 of 14 from the floor, and 2 of 4 from three-point line. So again, if you're looking at Cat's box score, 26 points, he didn't have a lot to do, like putting the ball in the bucket in the second half, but you could definitely feel his imprint all over this game with getting everybody involved. OG Anunoby finished the game with 35 points, 15 of 24 from the field, 3 of 6 from three-point line, 2 of 2 from the free throw line with 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, and 1 block in the 38 minutes that he played. In the first half, OG had 14 points, 6 of 12 from the field, and 0 of 2 from three-point line. And if anything, the third quarter was definitely the quarter that propelled us to get the W over Dallas. Like I said in the beginning of this video, the Knicks, they kind of came out with not a lot of respect for the Dallas Mavericks with everything that they're going through. But once they really clamped down, especially on the defensive end, this game was kind of just, it was the Knicks for the taking. And this is what I'm saying about OG and Anunoby, man. I made out a video a couple of days ago talking about how, why isn't anybody looking at OG as being that third option? And why is everybody pointing the finger at Mikal Bridges? I understand the amount of picks that we gave up for Mikal. There's going to be a little bit of pressure with that. But OG Anunoby, he is fully capable of being that third option on a winning team. Look at how he's able, and something that he's added to his game is kind of creating for himself. Like, he's added that Jalen Brunson where he puts the ball in front of him and then he drags it up to get an automatic foul call. OG Anunoby has added a lot of stuff to his game that I think has really made him capable of being that third option. And I just think we need to take a look at OG Anunoby a little bit differently. After OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, 16 points, 12 rebounds, 11 assists, 2 steals in the 33 minutes that he played, 6 of 9 from the field, 2 of 2 from the three-point line, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. And Josh Hart, listen, I think, yeah, it might be cliche to say, but he really is the heart and soul of this team. But what Josh Hart really is, he's kind of like low-key the engine of this team. He's kind of like, when he has his imprint all over the game, rebounding, scoring, making a play for himself or others, like, the Knicks are a very hard team to beat. And on top of that, Josh Hart, he's proven time and time again that whenever we do need a bucket, if the team is on the comeback, or if there's a specific possession with, like, I don't know, 2 minutes left in the game, and if it's a three-pointer, and if it could go from 6 to 9 and give us that cushion and give us that leeway, and Josh Hart is the one with the ball at the top of the key, I'm 100% trusting Josh Hart. So he's just multifaceted. He has so many different skills, and he impacts the game in so many different ways. And tonight is a perfect example of that. Tonight was his 9th triple-double. He passes Walt Clyde Frazier for the record for the most triple-doubles in a season by a New York Knickerbocker. And Josh Hart, man, like, he's going to be such an important piece going down the stretch of the season and, of course, going into the playoffs. I just keep remembering that shot that he took against the Philadelphia 76ers. I think it was in Philly. I remember that. It might have been in Game 6 where we needed a bucket, and it was maybe like 2 minutes left to go, and he took one of those three-pointers that he was open at the top of the key. And I understand why opposing teams leave Josh Hart open, but at the same time, Josh Hart has proven time and time again, like I already said, that he's going to make that important shot. And he just has an impact on the game that I don't want to say that it goes unnoticed, but sometimes you really, really feel it. Mikal Bridges tonight had a pretty good game, 21 points, 9 of 14 from the floor, 2 of 4 from three-point line, with 1 rebound, 1 assist in the 34 minutes that he played. But if Mikal's not going to be that consistent third option and OG is not going to be that consistent third option, like I keep saying, I think that third option is going to be more taken over by like a committee. It's going to be OG, Mikal, Deuce. It's probably going to be like a group of people, Josh Hart as well, in order to establish that third option. So Deuce McBride sat out in tonight's game. Jalen Brunson is still recovering from that ankle injury suffered in the Los Angeles Lakers game. So Cameron Payne took over the starting spot. In tonight's game, 2 points, 1 of 3 from the field, 0 of 2 from three-point line, with 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals in the 30 minutes that he played. So I've said this before in other videos, but Cameron Payne, Landry Shamet and Cameron Payne, those are going to be the 2 players that I think are going to be like jockeying for that last playoff rotation, meaningful minutes in the playoffs for Coach Tibbs. And Cameron Payne, this is his 2nd game starting, so maybe Coach Tibbs has a little bit more trust in Cameron Payne. But as the season dwindles down, as we go into the playoffs, maybe we see Landry Shamet getting a little bit more minutes. Tyler Kolek, for the 2nd game, Tyler Kolek had around 18 and 19 minutes. Tonight he had 19 minutes with 1 bucket, 1 of 3 from the field, 0 of 1 from three-point line, with 1 rebound, 9 assists. And listen, I just like, this could be a number of different factors. It's the end of the season. We have, I think, with this game, I think we have like 12 games remaining, 11 to 12 games remaining. So there's a number of different factors why Coach Tibbs is actually giving Kolek those minutes. But this is what you have a rookie on the team. You want him to get acclimated to the game, and the only way he's going to get acclimated to the game is if he actually plays. So Coach Tibbs putting in the rookie, and also you can also take a look at it from Deuce sat out, Jalen Brunson has been out, and he's going to be out for the next few games. So this is a perfect opportunity for Tyler Kolek to get some run. Now, I don't really want to say that Coach Tibbs had an epiphany, but it's just good to see Tyler Kolek out there, and you can see that he has a nice feel for the game. But overall, this is definitely a feel-good win from the Knicks, and tomorrow we're right back at it with the LA Clippers. Hopefully we get some revenge from that loss that we took maybe like 2 weeks ago. But before I wrap up the video, I just want to give my 2 cents about Dallas, man. Marcel Martin, who is the Mavericks Digest creator, he's going through a rough time. This Luka trade could be the new version of the Curse of the Bambino. As soon as Luka got traded, just everything started going just going left. The funny thing is about the Dallas Mavericks is they actually, if everybody was healthy, they have a pretty good team. They have the Derek Lively, they have Daniel Gafford, Anthony Davis, Max Christie is coming on strong. Obviously Kyrie, they got Klay Thompson. Like, they have a good team to compete in the West, but that's just not how things panned out. But I just feel sorry for the Mavericks fans, man. I really do. I think a couple of days ago it was reported that they might have actually had to forfeit some games because they just didn't have enough players. So this season is obviously is a wash, but I'm just saying, keep a lookout for the Mavericks. Kyrie Irving is probably not going to be back until March of next season. And even with that, he's not going to be himself until the following season. So Maverick fans, just hold your head high. You got to be a little patient. But low-key, what's disheartening about the whole Dallas Mavericks situation is kind of like what I said in the beginning of the video. Like, remember when Jalen Brunson was on the team? Remember when Kristaps Porzingis was on the team? Remember when Luka was on the team? Like, they could have had a monster squad, and the Mavericks, they didn't want to offer Jalen Brunson. I think it was like 4 years, $55 million. It was like 50, 55. It wasn't like a ludicrous amount of money. and they let him walk. He comes to the Knicks. He changes the organization. He's the best Knicks player we've had since Patrick Ewing. So we know the story about Jalen Brunson. Kristaps Porzingis and Luka Doncic, they didn't work out because a lot of egos were involved. Kristaps thought he should have been the man on the team when obviously he shouldn't because he's injury prone. And then you got the Luka Doncic trade. It's just like, if you look at the Dallas Mavericks history within the last few years, it's pretty grim. Like the capability of what that team could have been, like, they might have had an NBA championship by now. And right now I'm just freestyling. I'm not really looking at the details. I'm just thinking about Jalen Brunson, Kristaps, and Luka. I'm not thinking about the supporting roles, the different type of players that they would have had supporting those three. But listen, man, Mavericks fans, like I said, hold your head high. Marcel, hold your head high. It'll get better. But guys, that's it for today's video. I want to say thank you so much for checking it out. Leave it in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought about the Knicks' effort tonight against the Dallas Mavericks. Let me know what you guys thought about Josh Hart, Karl-Anthony Towns, the first Knick duo to have a triple-double in the same game. Josh Hart surpassing Walt Clyde Frazier for the most triple-doubles in the Knicks season. But until next time, you know the drill. I'm out. Peace.